See how fast you can answer these. 8 times 9, 72. 4 times 6, 24. 7 times 8, 56. 11 times 11, 121. 4 times 9, 36. 8 times 8, 64. 9 times 3, 27. 8 times 11, 88. Hopefully you were able to get those super fast, and I know you can. All right, let's go over some metric cards. 10. C to M, 10. Milli, 1,000. 100. 100. 1,000. Deca is 10. 1/100th or 0.01. 1/10th or 0.1. 1/1000th or 0.001. 100. 1,000. All right, what is the boiling point of water? Fahrenheit. 98 point. Oh, sorry. Boiling point is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. I knew something seemed wrong. Okay. Freezing point of water Fahrenheit. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling point of water Celsius. 100 degrees. Yep. Freezing point of water Celsius. 0 degrees. Normal body temperature Celsius. 37 degrees. Normal body temperature Fahrenheit. 98.6. This is really interesting, but now they're starting to say that 98.6 might not be our normal body temperature anymore. And now, before it was about 99, I think, when you had a fever, and now they are moving it up to 100, which is interesting. Random fact of the day. Right now, we're going into our line graph. This is just a review. Do you remember how we see our line graph? I don't know if you can see, so I'm going to move it up a little bit. Okay, remember, first you walk to the elevator, the escalator, then you go up the stairs. So you walk across first and then go up. So for example, 10-5, we go across 10 and up 5. So across 10, up 5, and then we plot our point right in the 10-5, right here. If you went up 10 and then across 5, you would be incorrect. Our next one is 15-10, 15-10, so we go across to 15 and up to the 10. Now our last one is 19-13, so we're going to go across. Now already our biggest 5 you can count by, that's closest to 19 is 15, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right here, and then 13. So we can already go up to 10, 11, 12, 13, and plot it right here. Now if you were going to, my favorite part is when it's all over and you get to connect it. That's the best part, absolutely. So start at the 0, 0, and connect it to the dot. Now you can see this is an ascending line graph. This is what you would want to see, things going up, not descending. All right, now what you're going to do right now, wow, I'm really close, is you're going to take Math Quiz 15. So pause and take Math Quiz 15. Should take you about 10 to 15 minutes, and then press play on this video. Now I know some of you, welcome back, are super excited because you know on quiz days that means our paper is shorter. But let's learn about our little lesson for today. Our lesson today, well, one reason why I love math so much is because math is very practical. You're going to use it pretty much every day. And this one is very practical, especially if you like to cook. And all of you, I'm sure, will cook one day when you grow up. And some of you might like to cook right now. I've heard about some of you cooking at your home. So today we're going to talk about teaspoons and tablespoons. You have teaspoon and a tablespoon, and I'm sure if you go in your kitchen right now, you can look. I almost made this video from my kitchen, except I don't have a whiteboard, so I knew I needed that for later on in this lesson. So this is a teaspoon, this is a tablespoon. So can you already tell which one is smaller, the teaspoon or the tablespoon? Yeah, you should be able to tell already that the teaspoon is smaller. Actually, it takes 3 teaspoons to make 1 tablespoon, which is crazy, but yeah, you could stick this in 3 different times. Now, so a tablespoon is 3 times bigger. You might see in a recipe a capital T period. That could stand for tablespoon, and then a little t for teaspoon. Or another abbreviation is tablespoon is TBSP, tablespoon, or teaspoon, TSP. Okay? Now I got this to show you with some water and a cup. Let's see how I can do this without dropping everything. Okay, so we'll just leave this right down here and hopefully not get my book wet. This is 1 tablespoon. Oops. And like I said, I'm really trying to make sure I don't spill it everywhere. You can see this is 1 tablespoon that we have in here. And we're dropping it in here. 1 tablespoon. And right now, we're going to test this to see if it's the same. Should be the same amount. We're going to take this cup and we're going to put 3 teaspoons. And hopefully we'll be left with the same amount. Alright, ready? 1. Now, hopefully I don't spill any because then that will mess it up. Are you guys having fun at home? I hope you're having fun at home. Are you in your pajamas right now, or are you dressed? Alright, let's see if I did this right. I just put 3 in and 3 in. Yeah, you can't really tell, but it is the same amount. The 3 teaspoons is equal to 1 tablespoon. And this is really practical, so when I have been making a recipe, and let's say it did call for 6 teaspoons of something, I already know I don't need just 6 teaspoons. I could just use a tablespoon and only put 2 tablespoons in. And usually it will talk about tablespoons or teaspoons. The reason why this is also practical is if you, let's say you were doubling a recipe or you were only making half of a recipe, then you could say, oh wait, if you are, let's say you're only making a half of your recipe and it calls for 1 tablespoon, you could divide 1 tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons, in half. Half of 3 is 1 1/2. So you would know, oh, okay, I can just use 1 1/2 teaspoons instead. And that's just practical use. But let's go over this. This is our tablespoon, teaspoon, and 3 teaspoons equals to 1 tablespoon. Let's look at your paper. Write the answers. 1 tablespoon equals how many teaspoons? Yeah, 3. Now what about, let's go to B. 2 tablespoons. 2 times 3 is 6. And 3 tablespoons is, 3 times 3 is 9 teaspoons. All right, you go across now that you're noticing a pattern. I can already tell. You're going to go from A through L and fill those in. Okay, you probably are already done right now. But if you go across, you were just counting by threes. So it would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Did you get it? Yes, it was really easy. Now let's go on to section 2, convert to find the answers. All right, this is like our normal measurement problems. First thing we know, what are we looking for? We're looking for tablespoons. So we put a box. We put the one that's not a tablespoon in down. Blank tablespoons equals blank tablespoons. And some of you already know this in your head, the answer, but the reason why we're doing this is to practice the steps because they will get harder. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going from teaspoon to tablespoon. So we're going from smaller to larger. Divide, right. So for step is divide. Special number, we just learned is 3. Put a hug around it because it's oh so special. And now we're going to take our number in the box, 24, divided by 3. And we get 8. So your answer is 8, 8, and 8. Let's try this one. 5 1/3 tablespoons to teaspoons. Now, immediately we can see we're looking for teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going from tablespoon to teaspoon. Larger to smaller. Multiply. And our special number is 3. Now we have 5 1/3 in the box times 3. Wait, what? How do I do that? You know, make it into an improper fraction. Remember, multiply down and add up. 5 times 3 plus 1, 16 thirds. Times 3, put a 1 underneath. Cancel the 3 and the 3, 1 and 1, and 16 times 1 is 16 over 1, which equals to 16. Good job. Hopefully you were able to get that. Same thing for the last one. 10 2/3 tablespoons equals how many teaspoons? All right, what are we looking for? We are looking for teaspoons. So blank teaspoons equals blank teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. We are going from tablespoon to a teaspoon. Larger to smaller, multiply. Special number is 3. You might be noticing a pattern. And now we have 10 2/3 times 3. 10 2/3 times 3, which you already know. Your brain is already going ding, 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 ding. I know what I'm doing. I make this into an improper fraction. 30 plus 2, 32 thirds times 3. I love these when you can just cancel the 3 and the 3. And 32 times 1 is 32. 32, 32, 32. Now, this does make sense because remember we said 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So 10 tablespoons would be 30 teaspoons. And then 2 of 3 would be 2. So 30 and 2 is 32. Did you get those? I hope you did. Now we're going to our story problem, section 3. We're almost done with the front page. How awesome is that? The temperature one cold day at Plymouth Rock was 18 degrees below freezing on the Fahrenheit scale. Set the thermometer to the correct temperature. Well, first we gotta think, what is the freezing point of water in Fahrenheit? Like they said, it is 32 degrees. 32 degrees, and it said it was how many degrees lower? I think it said it was 18 degrees lower. So if it's 18 degrees lower, 32 minus 18, it would be 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So what you're going to do, now that you figured out it's 14, you can see the scale for the thermometer is counting by 2s. You see how it is 10, 12, 14. So you should color to this line right here from the bottom, the third line from the bottom or whatever, 10, 12, 14, and it is 14 degrees. Turn the paper over. Now, if you want to use red for that, that's great because that's what our thermometers normally look like. You're going to do section 4. Section 4, multiply. You work on section 4. So 5 1/2 times 6. The first thing you do, is to make it an improper fraction. Multiply down and add up and keep the denominator. And you should get 11 over 2 times 6. 11 over 2 times 6. And put the 1 underneath the 6. Yikes. You already know you can cancel the 2 and the 6 and make it a 1 and a 3. And then you would have 11 times 3, which is 33. And that should be your answer for number 1. And what? I totally forgot the problem. Let's see. Yes, A is 33. Sorry, I dropped some things. B, 1 1/4 times 2 2/3. Change those to improper fractions. 5/4 times 8/3. And you get, well, first you have to cancel the 4 and the 8 to a 1 and 2. Then you should get 10/3, I believe. Yes, and then it equals 3 1/3. I am short. I know. Okay, so that should be 3 1/3. Now look at your last one. If you're actually watching me, you might be entertained. I don't know. Okay, and the last one is 3/14. Go on to section 5, our favorite, the problem. Solve for what you know. All right, now that we've done these so many days, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to do them. Except I might do, hold on. I just realized that this is wet over here, so put this here. Okay, so we have x plus 3 equals 2 times 8. Hopefully you're already almost done with this first one. Solve for what you know. Then what you did for the one, do to the other. Oh, did you beat me? Did you beat me? X equals 13 and 16 equals 16. Now the next one, don't let it trip you because it is x plus 4 equals 56 divided by 56 sevenths. Now you should already know what 56 divided by 7 is. That's right, it's 8. If you don't, maybe buy some cards and keep practicing. X plus 4 equals 8. Now this is something we know. All we have to do is, we have to get x alone. X plus 4 minus 4, opposite sign equals 8. Minus 4, x equals 2, 4. Woohoo! Now plug it back in. 4 plus 4 equals 56 sevenths, and 8 equals 8. Did you get it? Last one, x minus 1 equals 15 minus 8. X minus 1 equals 7. X minus 1 plus 1 equals 7 plus 1. X equals 8. Plug it back in. 8 minus 1 equals 15 minus 8. 7 equals 7. All right, it's your favorite. I know. Section 6, divide and check. Divide and check. And these ones do look a little bit trickier today. So we're going to do, I might do a couple on the board. Maybe I'll do all of them. You work on them at your seat. And if you get stuck, look up. So the first one is 6,858. 6,858 divided by 23. Right away, circle and underline, right? You know what those lines mean. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. Did you do that? You might have done that, or you might have been really smart and said, no, I'm not even going to try 3. Because 69, you cannot subtract from 68. We gotta start again. Now, a helpful tool is to know because 23 is close to 25, and we know how to count by quarters. So that's something to keep in mind. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. Is 22 less than 23? Barely, but it is. So then our next step is subtract up here, bring down. Then we start all over again. 2 goes into 22 how many times? Now remember I told you whenever you have a 23 going into a 22, it's going to be the biggest number, and it's going to be 9. Because we know that 23 times 10 would be 230, but we can't put 10 in that blank, so it has to be 0 through 9, so it's going to be 9. 3 times 9 is 27, carry the 2. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 2 is 20. 15 minus 7 is 8, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Compare, is 18 less than 23? It is, and move down to 8. 23 goes to 188. Well, for me, you could say it's not going to be 9 because 23 times 9 was 207. This is just thinking practically, so it's probably going to be 8, right? Because 2 would go into 18 that many times. But it could also be 7. But that's why we just estimate. It's just an educated guess. That's all it is. So 3 times 8 is 24. Carry the 2. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 2 is 18. Phew! We actually got it right on the first try. 8 minus 4 is 4. And it is less than 23. Nothing left to bring down, so that's our remainder. You can check it yourself because we know that's correct, and I don't want my phone to die. Next, 57, 6,972. Now, I always get excited, especially when I look at the first number, because we are looking at 57 going into 69, and 5 goes into 6. That's super easy, just one time. 57 times 1 is 57. Subtract, and you get 12. 12 is less than 57, and bring down the 7. Now we are going 57. Now keep in mind 57 is closer to 60 than to 50, so we're going to be estimating with a 6. 6 goes into 12 how many times? 2 is correct. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Subtract, 7 minus 4 is 3, 2 minus 1 is 1. Compare, yes, 13 is less. One last time. 6 goes into 13 how many times? 2, right. And we already know that 57 times 2 is 114, so we can just subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8, 2 minus 1 is 1. Compare, and nothing left to bring down, and that's our remainder. Last one, 10,675. And then divided by 18. 18 is between what two tens? It's between 10 and 20, but it's closer to 20, so we'll estimate with a 2. 2 or 15, either is fine. Okay, so 2. All right, 2 goes into 10. How many times? 5. But we can try 5 if you want to try 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 4 is 9. 6 minus 0 is 6. 10 minus 9 is 1. To be honest, I didn't know that was going to work out, but that's awesome. 16 is less than 18. If it was not less than 18, we would have just gone up one more. Okay, 167 now. 2 goes into 16 how many times? It is 8. I honestly think we'd be okay with 9 because if we're going that high, it's 2 less each time. So I'm going to go with 9, but you can try 8. 8 times 9 is 72. 7. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 7 is 16. Yeah, I was right. Because once you get, when you're estimating, if this is 2 off each time, by the time you get up to 9, you're 18 numbers off. So that's a whole number. So let's see. 7 minus 2 is 5, and 6 minus 6 is 5 is less, and then we bring down the 5. Now this one's a little bit easier. 18 goes into 55. Now it is actually 3, I believe, because I think 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. And you have 593 remainder 1. I want you to work on checking those as well, and then go to section 7. I'll give you the answers for 7 when, and pause it and do these and check it when you're done. It's 2,506. A is 2,506. B is $129.12. $129.12. C is 2,938. D is 8, and E is 210. Now 8, circle the farm animal that is at 2-3. 2-3 and draw a cat at 4-1. Now remember, you go across to, remember you walk across and then up. So 2-3 would not be, when you go across, when you go across 2 and up 3, you get the goat. You get the goat. And then it says draw a cat at 4-1, so cross 4 and up 1, and your cat should be right in this corner. All right, do your best on that page, and I will see you next time.